And hello everybody, welcome to a very buggy night for Ask Us Anything as we come to you live tonight from Addison Township, Michigan and the Addison County Park there. You think we're going to make it?
I don't know. You'll make it because you're a professional. I might cut and run. To get us in the shade, we are in the woods.
Yeah,
and
we are indeed in the
the
woods.
Mosquitoes are going to discover us.
I think they already have.
Soon.
And it's not only the mosquitoes, it is the real-time temperature is about 103 degrees right now where we are. So it's going to be an interesting night. We had to scramble around a little bit to get a signal, and we're going to be swapping mosquitoes, I think, as we go through. But we at least wanted to start this. We are camping in our RV, and actually we're working on a video here. So many of you ask, well, how do you set up an RV? And we've never really thought about it because it's pretty simple. So I don't know how many people ask us to share the steps. So we started just doing them. And holy cow, look at that already. We have a super chat. This one from James Harris, and James sends us a $5 super chat. You can find there's a little $ under there, and we really thank you so much for that, James. And James gets a question.
Okay, I'll wait till you're done with your question.
No, go. What were you
Okay, what I was going to say is we do have insect repellent, but we didn't have time to get it out.
No, because we've been shooting a video right up and
until
from this
2 seconds before we started.
From James from Tofu, about how much did your permanent rear view mirror cost? Go to the blog, Jim. There's a big post on there. I list the cost of everything that we showed you. Just go to rvlifestyle.com. It's up right now. I list prices on everything. And yes, I did have the dealer, and it was about 3 hours of work. I can't remember the exact price, but I listed it. I put a link on Amazon. It's all there for you at rvlifestyle.com. So delighted to have so many of you there with us. We want to ask you all to do what James did, and when you do have a question, type it all in caps like that. And that way, as we're kind of negotiating the screens, we'll be able to pick up the questions and the comments and do stuff like that. So we'll try it. Well, we've got one here. The first one about how long do you keep your RVs before buying another? It looks like you had the Unity for maybe 2 years. Not quite. Yeah, that's about what we keep them. We trade, and we will trade this one in another 1.5 or 2 years, maybe. I'm really liking it. So, but I said that about the Unity, and I really like the Unity. But we tend to want to try different models and different brands sometimes and different styles. So as long as we're doing this, we think that we need to know as much as we can. And plus, once you start buying and selling and you can hit that two-year sweet spot, because you see all the extras we put on, we can usually get out of it for a pretty good price without, so we're not upside down in it. So that's another reason we tend to do it. But who knows, this one, we are really enjoying this one, so we may keep this one longer. And lots of stuff on the blog. I've been writing about this unit and why we got this particular one. And you can find that all at rvlifestyle.com. But yeah, some people say I get bored after 2 years, but we do like trying the different ones.
You do like new things.
You do too.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, it's not just me. Yeah.
But it's work.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's particularly this one because I'm putting in many of the same things that we put in on the Unity. And when I sold the Unity, the buyers of the Unity, a really nice couple that we met from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, we gave them some of the same extras. Rather than taking them all off, we just left them with them. So they got a good deal, and now we're putting them back in. Thank you for doing these and other videos. Extremely helpful, says Potter Pup. I've been going back in time to your earlier videos. They're still packed with great. Thank you. That's from Sandy. We appreciate that. That is really kind. Let's see. This is from Linda. My husband may make me stop watching your videos. I'm the techie in the family, and I want all the gadgets. You got some good ones. Oh, we got some new ones that just came in this week. We'll be telling you all about those later. But yeah, no shortage of gadgets, right?
Right.
We are, I want to go back to where we are here at the Addison Township Park. This is actually near our home, near our Sticks and Bricks home. And we just wanted to get away for the weekend. We really a hot one though. As I said, the real-time temperature is about 104, and even now it's just dripping humidity, and we are backed up to some woods. I don't know if I can show you here without losing anything, but it's pretty good woods in here. I can't pull it around too
Bo
much
got
more.
put in the rig.
Yeah, you can maybe hear the air conditioner
is
running.
on,
Yeah.
but he got put in. I thought he was barking at deer because there's a lot of deer that wander around here, but I think it's a neighbor's dog.
It might be, and one of the reasons we stay in a campground at this for something like that is because we want to run. That air will be on all night tonight, and you know you really can't do that boondocking. So that's what we're doing. Lots of you checking in, and thank you so much. Do you prefer 3-way or 12-volt fridge, and why? The one we have is a 3-way. It's the second 3-way we've had. We loved the last one. It was perfect. This one's the exact same refrigerator. Runs on 12 volts when we're driving. It runs on LP if we want as well. We can set it for that. And it runs on 110 when we're plugged in or when we're running off the lithium batteries. So we like it.
And you don't have to switch it.
No, it switches automatically all by itself. Hey, we got another super chat. This one is from EC Corzilius. Super sticker super set. I can't say it. A super sticker super chat. Wow, that's a mouthful. $9.99. Thank you. And the super sticker. This always threw me the first time we got one of these. What is this pair character bowing down saying thank you? That's a super sticker that you all see. I just see the words pair character bowing down. What's he saying? But EC, now that I know what it is, I really thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you. And we love those super chats. That helps you support our lifestyle. Two more of them. We got this tonight's spot paid for.
Yeah, how much was it?
$28. $28.
I was thinking it was $35.
Water, 30 amp or 50 amp. Nice concrete pad.
Did we get a senior discount?
I think she just gave me one. Didn't even ask because it says $30.
You don't have to ask.
That's pretty bad when you don't have to ask.
You know when they first start giving you senior discounts and you're like,
she didn't ask, and I did get that discount.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Maybe I'm in their records.
Don't think about it too much.
Now I'm getting sad. Is it that obvious? Oh, well. But anyway, this is a great little park. And like I said, it's great in our backyard. Often we'll come out here and we'll just walk Bo here. So Bo knows this park. But Bo is a fair weather puppy. He is in the air conditioner.
Well, he would like to be out barking. And then I put him in there, and there's a sheriff deputy that's riding his bike through, and Bo decides he's going to bark his head off at him.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
A deer.
Yeah. Well,
He'll probably be riding past a lot.
He probably will.
Vicious animal.
Well, word has it in the park that we're doing this live thing here with all the help at the desk. So I imagine people will come and they'll be curious about it. Let's see, a question from Bradley. Do you think the macerator and the ladder are must-haves as an option on the Wonder? Well, the macerator, we have always had a macerator, Bradley, so we're very comfortable with them. We think they're neat, they're clean. We've never had a problem on the 7 RVs that we've had over the past almost 10 years. So when I did get the macerator option for this, as we have on all of ours, we don't use the gravity dump. It just seems to me messy. I suppose if you're used to it, it's fine, but we're used to this. We like the macerator as much as you can like anything that does that stuff. The ladder is, I'm up on the roof quite a bit, and I have some stuff that I still want to go put up there. I've got antennas.
Other people probably don't need a ladder.
No, you don't need a ladder.
Because they could just put a ladder next to.
Now, the millennials all need a ladder because they like to go stand up and do yoga poses on the roof.
Well,
You did one. You did one at Quartzsite. Yeah. So.
And the reason I did it was we
Yeah.
borrowed an RV, and I said, do not go up on the roof. And he went up on the roof. And then as soon as he came down, I went up on the roof to see, so he could worry about me. But did he worry? No.
No, I took a picture.
He ran and got a camera.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I can't stand the way he did, so I did my little yoga pose.
I'll tell you what, I'll go do a yoga pose up there, but you got to give me a lot of super chats for
I
that.
don't
Big
like
super
up there.
chats, I'll go do one. Not now, not live, but I'll do it. Yeah. So thank you, Bradley, for that question. Nicole has a question. Hi, Jennifer and Mike. We really enjoyed watching your videos on your organizing tips and touring the inside. We have the same one on order. Is your interior earth? No, it is natural rift, I think is what it's called. And of course the white is, I call it Stormtrooper white from Star Wars.
What I like about the interior is the color of the wood, because with the Unity that we had, the white, I guess we got dirty fingers. I was always wiping it down. So just a little thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our dirty finger prints aren't going to show as much on this.
A
little more grace and mercy.
Yeah. Hey, hi to Chris Cowley. Chris is part of our RV Lifestyle team, and he's out there helping everybody with links and reminds everybody to put comment or question, and we'll do our best to get through. I know I missed some folks. We end up with hundreds of you on here for these live things, and I'm trying to answer, talk, and take up the questions. So when we do miss them, you know, it's nothing personal. I just sometimes don't see them. Like I could have almost missed the Spinas because the question is not in caps, but I saw it. Our campgrounds and boondocking sites more crowded now than they were a year ago. They are. And should reservations be far in advance, or can one just wing it? Well, we're tough ones to ask that because we
normally wing it.
In fact, in the video that we're doing about how to set up and take down from a campsite, we'll do another video on how to set up and take down from boondocking. But on this one of the things we recommended is the best day to get a site without a reservation is
Sunday night.
Sunday night, because everybody goes home usually, the weekenders. Now everything's different now with COVID, but
yeah, you're going to pop in on a Friday night, usually Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, peak times.
Those are the busiest times, but almost we've never not been able to get a spot on a Sunday whenever we go. So we try and get a spot Sunday. Monday's a good day too usually, but that's the best time. And I think you can wing it. I mean, this place has a lot of empty spots. We noticed that a couple of the loops, they're camping every other for social distancing. And here, there's somebody about 3 sites over that way, nobody this way, nobody across the street. So it's really very private.
This is a bit of an isolated spot we're in, 128.
Yeah. If you could buy any B+ with money as no option, what would you buy? Probably the one we got. I mean, and the one we had, and maybe the next one we get. I don't know. There are not a lot of extras that we didn't put on this. You know, we got the lithium, we got the solar. You could add more solar, but 400 watts seems to be just fine for us. You could add more lithium, but 200 amp lithium seems to be just fine for our style. I'm trying to think what other things. I suppose you could add satellite. We may do that later as an option. But, you know, they come pretty well equipped. At least the ones that we've been buying from Leisure Travel Van. They've been really good. All right. When our RV shows resuming, we need to explore. We'll travel anywhere. Good question. The industry would love to have an answer.
When they find a vaccine for COVID?
Yeah. Right now, everything is pretty much canceled through the end of the year. Now, there may be some that come up towards Thanksgiving, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Not many. The next big one is the Tampa Super Show in Florida, and that's usually the second weekend of January. That is, as far as I know, still third weekend. I think that, yeah, it's the third weekend. It's still technically on, and I have not heard that it's going to be canceled, but everything else has canceled, and who knows? It's crazy, right? We don't know what's going on. Brenda, how long have you had your power bikes? Do you use them each trip, trying to justify the expense of electric versus pedal? Currently have a Road Trek CS Adventurous. Well, on this one, if you've watched the last 2 videos we put up, we did a 2-part tour of this. You learned that this big garage we have, this pass-through area, is too small for 2 of our e-bikes. We have the full-size city bikes. So don't send me emails yet. We're thinking of selling those and buying the Rad Power Minis that are a folding bike, which would fit in there.
We're not very handy. Do you think those folding bikes
they're
work
pretty
well?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, because
they're really simple. They're really easy to do. Not like the other ones that you tried. We tried some once a long time ago.
We could not get them up.
Yeah, these are real easy. And then the other thing that we learned is the hitch here. It's a class, I believe it's a class 2 hitch. Maybe it's 1, but it's a smaller hitch. And because this has all that interior garage storage, which would hold 2 regular bicycles, it can hold 500 pounds of storage. the tongue rate on this is not enough to put a bike rack and the 2 e-bikes on the back. So we can't.
This is a new fact.
This is a new fact.
You've been hiding this
our
from
buddies Davis and Tandy and Buster found that out for me and told me about it. So, so our rack, our Hollywood rack, which we use for our e-bikes, with the 2 e-bikes, that's 130 pounds, and the rack weighs about 60 pounds. It's a heavy rack. We're at that 200-pound tongue weight, so we really can't kick these e-bikes as it is now, the ones we have. So we think we're going to sell those and pick up a couple of the folding ones, which would both fit in the trunk. So stay tuned. That's down the line, and I'll let you know.
Was this a plot to keep me from getting angry, telling me in front of everybody?
I think so. I think so, yeah. I'm researching the towing capabilities of various rigs and wondered if you know the stats. Mine will tow 2,000 pounds, 200-pound tongue weight. So, and in our first review, if you go to RVlifestyle.com, we did an interior-exterior review last week. This week we did the cab and the chassis. I've got all of those stats in there, and you can see it. So it's all there. All right, I'm looking for more of your questions. Debbie has one. Have you decided when you're going to install the soft start on your AC? I haven't decided when. I know I do want to, but I don't know when. It might not be till spring. I got a whole list of stuff to install, and some of them are going to take a little precedence. Pretty soon, in another month, in the upper Midwest, it'll be cool enough that I won't need the AC so much. So it might wait until after the next season starts, and we'll see what happens then. Hey, another super chat. Let's go to that one. Oh man, we love these. This is a $10 super chat from TK Porsche. Question: what's the measured ground clearance on your new RV, and do you think the ground clearance is safe for the unpaved roads found? It's about the same as we had on the Unity, about 7 to 7.5 inches, and that's with our equalizer auto leveling system. And we had no problems with that as we traveled last year, and we shouldn't have any this year as well.
So how many inches did you lose when you put in the leveling system?
None.
None?
No. There's a couple of other things that are down at that 7.5 inches, like a couple of tailpipes and stuff.
Okay.
And we never had any problems. So
we're not tearing around out west on
off-roading. Well, we will. We'll be doing some. We do BLM.
I guess we were.
Yeah. So we do like that. All right, back to some of your questions. I kind of lost my place here. Let's see. Where were we here? Okay, I'm sorry to have to look, but I have to look. Was it difficult to hide the wires for your front-facing dash cam? No. I mean, it's so easy. They give you a little tool, and it'll go underneath the trim, and it's great. There was just no problem. So that was pretty simple. And all right, back to your question. What's your suggestion for the best way to sell my travel trailer? Because we've decided to get a C-Class. By the way, tomorrow on the blog, I'll have we've been trying to explain all these confusing classes for RVs. We did one on what the B plus is, which is really a C. They call that a B plus. Some people do for marketing reasons, but it's a C. Tomorrow I have one on what is a Class C. So make sure you go to the blog. That'll be up bright and early tomorrow when you wake up, RVlifestyle.com. Best way to sell your travel trailer is in your neighborhood. Find a corner that you can put a for sale sign on it. RV Trader, one of those magazines, those work well. Find the manufacturer of your trailer and go to one of the Facebook groups every manufacturer has a Facebook group, and tell people there. So you go for it, and you should do fine. Boy, we're getting lots of super chats. I'm worried somebody's going to give me a big one and have me go up on the roof and do a yoga pose. This one is from Ann, $4.99. How much do you actually use your generator? I used it yesterday for about a half hour to exercise it. So not much.
Explain to people how often you have to run the generator.
You should run your generator, I've been told, for about a half hour once a month. So it keeps the oil all moving, and it works out great. So I ran it for about a half hour yesterday. I went in and ran the air and did some design stuff, a couple of things inside.
So just once a month is enough?
Yeah.
Because the one in our house has to run once a week.
Yep. No, it does. It does great. It does really good. What do you use for bug repellent? Asks Tracy. What do you use for bug repellent? We don't use it very much. I used to use
Skin So Soft.
that kind of
I just
sweet
can't
and
quite-
sickly smelling. Isn't it?
Can't quite put poison on me. Even when we went to Africa, I wouldn't use the real heavy stuff.
Yeah,
Just
I
kinda
don't like
creeps me
putting it on.
out.
Yeah, we tend to wear longer shirts, longer sleeve shirts and shorts,
And
not
go in
shorts,
if the bugs come out.
and go in. Yeah. Will you be putting heat pads on your holding tanks, and will you be putting side cameras on this van? No, no heat tanks, and I don't need side cameras. You know, I have the rear camera that's on all the time. The mirrors do great on the side. The only thing that we haven't decided, we put it, it's $1,000 option. We put it on the other one, an aftermarket thing called CUB, C-U-B, which was blind spot detection. These wider Class Cs don't have it automatically like they do on the regular Class B panel vans. So the question is do we want that? It's an infrared little sensor that will flash a little thing on the dash or sound a note if you're trying to turn and somebody's there. I never really thought I needed it. It's a level of comfort for Jennifer, so she kind of would like it, but I don't know. So, but no
and
side
if I recall,
cameras.
the lights from when the manufacturers were red, and the light that we had with the one we installed, it was a little tiny yellow light.
It's yellow when somebody's there, but if you turn your turn signal on, it thinks you're going to actually turn into that lane, and then it says, get out, and that turns red then.
Oh.
But it was just a very faint light. Sometimes you couldn't see it well in the daytime, so that's good. Hey, another super chat. This is from Shirley. You both are looking fantastic. Love the Hollywood look, Jennifer. I call those her movie star sunglasses. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you
for the super chat. That means so much to us. It really does. It's great. It's great to see those come in. We're feeling pretty good. You were really under the weather earlier.
I was very sick.
And I don't know if I mean, you knew when she missed a couple of times. She missed one and couldn't talk in one, but she was really pretty sick. We thought you had COVID. We're still not sure you didn't, but you tested negative, so who knows?
That's good.
Yeah. Looking at the ladder behind you, how do you get onto it? The bottom rungs.
That first step's a killer.
Yeah, there's a second section that stores in the trunk, and you kind of latch
And
it
it's
on
good
there.
it's not there because our little 5-year-old granddaughter was eyeing that ladder.
Oh yeah, and other
She
people.
would have been on
yeah,
that roof.
Yeah, so it's a little section that attaches real simple, and then
She's got her daddy's jeans in her. I mean, we were at the baseball diamond, that big netting. Our son was at the top of it in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, doesn't
Turn
take
your
long.
back on him, and he was
climbing. Yep, but the ladder, lets you get up there. I've got solar panels. I got a 4G LTE antenna and a Wi-Fi booster up there. We may put in. I've got some radios that we may put in, and we may put in satellites. So
okay.
I like to
My
get up
question is that ladder's in one spot. It seems like just a ladder with some padding on it, so you could put it here, A, B, C, and D, and take it all around. Because here you got to get up there, and then you got to walk all over.
Do you remember those ladders we saw at all the RV shows? Those telescoping ladders.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy one. You said no because we didn't have a place to carry them.
Right.
We could have carried it in the back of this thing right
Yeah,
here.
the back of this one
So,
could have done that.
If you're thinking about getting one of these, I would say you try not getting the ladder. I think it's about $500 installed.
You could buy one of those.
You could buy one of those telescoping ones. I think they come down to like 5-6 feet, and that would fit in the that little part right across here inside in the garage. Mm-hmm. And that's nice because then you could bring it around. So yeah, that's probably what I would have done had I been smart enough.
Well, we're always changing.
We always change it.
We're good for the economy. We're buying and selling and buying and selling.
Yeah, we are. How much weight in stuff can you carry? I recall you saying the total weight of the vehicle is 11,000 pounds. The actual maximum cargo carrying capacity is 1,853 pounds. See, I had to memorize that. It might be 51. But anyway, 1,850 something pounds, which is quite a bit, really. It's more than they had on the previous Wonders, I think. You can carry up to 500 pounds in the little garage that's right behind my my finger there. So it's got quite a bit of carrying space. And, you know, the maximum cargo is the passengers, the dog, your dishes, your food, the stuff you put in the pantry, your clothes, my gear. I've got 3 suitcases full of gear that I take with us.
That's half the reason we got the garage.
And then water. If you have water, I think a full 28-gallon tank of fresh water is about 350 pounds. So that's one of the reasons we don't fill up our fresh water when we drive down the road. We fill it up just enough to use it. And I mean, if we're going to boondock, we fill up just before we go out where we're going to boondock. There's water here, and I did hook it up, and I put a couple gallons in the fresh water, but we're using the city water connector now, and it's great. So that's good. Hope that answered that question. All right, question. We enjoy your videos so much we turned our children onto you. They are 20-somethings and think about RV. What would you advise? Start with what you can afford. You know, a lot of 20s-somethings are going out and living their life in Class B vans. Van life is the phrase that they use, and they're having a great time with that. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have kids, it makes it a lot easier, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then they have big dogs.
They have big dogs.
Big dogs.
Yeah, and the kids do. Yeah.
2 of them.
So I'd say a camper van, if it's just the 2 of them, a camper van would be great, a Class B. A lot of folks, younger folks and people with talent are buying, you know, Sprinter vans and Ford Transit vans and then converting them themselves, putting what they want in there. So that's what I'd urge them to look at. And tell your kids thank you for turning you on to us there, John. We appreciate it. Hey, Super Chat from Ivan and Josie. Do you have an Amazon or shopping link of the gadgets you purchased, and what is the hat you have on? Everybody asked me about my hat. I've had this for 9. We do, and if you go to rvlifestyle.com, there's a little thing up on the right. It's called Gear, a little on the menu, Gear. Click that. Almost everything we talk about, we have an Amazon affiliate link, and you know how those work. Everybody has those, right? We get a small percentage of whatever you spend. You don't spend any more or less. Yeah, we have it. And this hat is the Tilly Airflow hat. Oh, I got hat here. Hat head. It's so hot out there. And I've had this hat since we started in 2010. And
our first Tampa show.
Tampa
RV show.
And there's a link on the gear page for that as well.
And this is good because you want to keep the sun off your ears and the back of your neck and your nose, your forehead.
This is kind of like when I put this hat on, which I pretty much do since I started driving the RV. It's like my happy place. And I do like the hat. I really like it. So it's out there on gear. And the other thing, if you go to the most current post on the blog, which will change, there's a new one coming up tomorrow morning, but the one that's on our second part of our review, I put Amazon links to all of the gadgets we just installed on this that I showed you so far, like the monitor, you know, my weather cup phone holder, and all the little gadgets that we showed you. So we do use Amazon links and affiliates, and that kind of helps. Do you park in a garage or outside? No, we don't. We park in our driveway, and we have a driveway that I put in a 30 amp supply so I can keep it plugged in, and it works good. Here's a question that you answered in our most current video, Jennifer, from Cliff. No, well, you can answer this. Do your curtains in Unity have the slits to pass the sun visors through?
No.
How do you like what you have now?
I like what we have now. There's snaps, and one piece of fabric and you snap it in, and I like that. I always had trouble with the slits, and then I'd have clothespins because I don't have a lot of patience. And I would use clothespins, the little clothespins that pinch.
Yeah, it drove me nuts. So
you didn't do it.
Well, no, I tried it a couple of times, and you just turned your nose up in disgust at it because it was so.
But I like that they're blackout. I mean, the quality of the fabric, you know, the Unity, as well as this, is nice and thick. You don't see through it. Yeah.
What's the difference between Winegard 2 and Togo? Absolutely nothing, except the Winegard 2 will work on pretty much whatever you want to put into it in terms of your data card. I have the Winegard 2, and it comes with, I think, AT&T. but I took the AT&T SIM card up using my handy dandy little ladder, and I put in my Verizon SIM card. So in fact, that is how I'm coming to you tonight on the internet through our Winegard 2. The Togo is a similar system. Instead of being black, it's white. I had it on our other uniform, our other RV. It is on the AT&T system, and it was being manufactured and marketed to RVers who, for $350 for a year, had unlimited internet. And AT&T signed up a whole bunch of people like that, and then late last year they said, nope, we're not going to allow that anymore. If you want it anymore after this, you got to pay. And they had huge, expensive rates. They ripped it all off. It was a bait and switch. So I do not recommend the Togo. And I know the Togo was being made by a division of Thor, and they were hoping to really have that take off. And there was some talk, I can't confirm whether it happened, where they were going to have it manufactured by Winegard so it would take other SIM cards like Verizon, Sprint. I don't know that happened. But the Winegard 2 does, and that's what we're using now. How close do you watch the weather when on the road, and how do you prepare for, say, severe storms and winds?
When we know that hail is coming, which once we had that, when we thought, we're going to get ahead of everybody, we're going to take off in May, we're going to get started before everybody gets started. And then we got bad weather. So we got out of town.
Yeah, well, we had
we
were in a park like this, and we really liked it. I don't know where we were.
We were out west.
I think we were in Texas, maybe.
We're out west.
Someplace out west. And
it
was coming through, big hail.
We are aware of the weather.
But what we did, I mean, you say we got out of town. We broke camp, and we drove through the night to get on the other side of the storm that was coming.
Twice we had that.
Yeah, so we will actually, if we hear there's a big storm coming, we will move.
We leave.
Hail can do an incredible amount of damage.
Yes.
But that's been twice in
First time was when we had
years.
Ty, and he was very sick.
Yeah. I thought that was the same time.
We had 2 times.
2 times?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so we do keep tabs on the weather. For example, tomorrow, severe storms, because you know when it gets really hot like it is here and hot and humid, severe storms are coming in tomorrow in this part of Michigan. So,
but we'll check the weather.
And as we were just shooting our video, we had the awning out, and we pointed out, never leave your awning out overnight. Even if you have that automatic wind sensor, don't do it. More awnings are lost. It isn't worth it. Yeah, it isn't worth it. They're very expensive.
And then you can't use your rig because you got to get it fixed. And then what are you going to do with it? It's dangling, hanging there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not worth the grief.
Yeah. All right, some other questions. This is from the Gadget Guru. Do you think having an air suspension is a good idea? I don't think you need it. You can look at us driving this thing in the video yesterday. You drove it. I mean, it felt pretty smooth to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, our B vans were much rougher riding than these Class C B plus vans. And this one's the best riding one we've had. It rides like an SUV. So I think it'd be a waste of money. I don't think we need it at all. For your vertically challenged fans, is there a step under the front grille of the Ford for us shorties to step up and wash the windshield? You know, I don't know.
No, we haven't looked.
I don't know. There was on the Sprinter. I'll go look, and not right now, but I could go look.
No, you're hooked
Oh, I got my
up.
microphone. Yeah, I got my mic. I dragged this with me. I don't know. I've not looked. It's a little shorter, so it's a little easier to reach, but it's still, I don't know whether you can do that or not. I'm not 100% certain. Again, a question. In your opinion, what's the best Class B in the market and the best Super B in the market? Super B, I think you mean B plus maybe, because there isn't a class of a Super B. The best Class B, I would say Advanced RV.
And they should be.
Yeah,
like $250,000.
Yeah, you're falling off the camera here.
The camera.
Yeah, I gotta move the camera. There we go.
Yeah.
The absolute hands down best of the Class B.
I mean, they only make like 18 a year.
18
and they
to 20.
name them. When you,
oh my gosh.
if you buy one from them, you give it a name.
We have a video on right here on YouTube. So
they give you a book.
They make a book of you. They name your RV. They refer to that.
Different steps as they put it together.
They're incredibly customized. They really, and they're just, I mean, unbelievable quality. A lot of people are going and having put their air conditioners in, and we're considering that for $3,000-4,000. it's so quiet that you don't even hear it. It sounds, it's negligible. But everything they do is really high quality, and their units start about $250,000.
The owner, he retired, and this is like his hobby.
Well, yeah, it's more than a hobby
well, I mean,
now.
it's
but
a business.
Mike
but
and Marcia,
his interest. Yeah. It was his interest.
And super quality people. They've become really good friends of ours, and we kid them that we'd love to get one someday, but these are a big enough stretch. But $250,000 will buy you a pretty nice one from Advanced RV. As far as the best Class C, it's so subjective. It depends on what you want.
You want a bigger Class C? I mean, we're in this B+. I
mean, obviously, we think this is pretty cool.
Yeah, we wouldn't be in this if we didn't like it.
And we really liked the one we had before, and we traded that in, or we sold that one to get this one. So, so we're kind of biased that way by our choice. But, another one that's nice is the Airstream Atlas is a B+. It's a beautiful, beautiful, but very expensive. I think those things are about $220,000 maybe. They're very expensive. These fully loaded are, in the 150, 160, depends on what you put on them. They start at 121, and then you can add your options. I put a link in this week's blog post and last week's blog post. Go to rvlifestyle.com, and down towards the bottom there's a link, and you can click on it. And you can add whatever options you want, and it'll calculate the cost for you if you were going to get one.
I always hate to recommend like a B if we haven't driven that, even though we've looked at it and it looks wonderful and we love it. Unless we've owned it, unless you've driven it for 6 months, you kind of hate to say,
Yeah.
Because I can think of a lot of Class Bs that I think are awesome, but we haven't owned them, we haven't driven them.
Yeah. I would say. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't want to say.
It's so subjective.
I don't want to say.
But I can tell you that the best B, and we've driven those, is Advanced RV. We just are big fans of theirs. I think Lisa Travel Van right now is making the best B+, and that's obviously reflected the fact that we bought this one and we bought the last one that we had as well. Have y'all spent much time boondocking in Canada? What are your favorite places? Any advice for someone who wants to RV across Canada? Well, it's a tough time for us now. We had planned to be in the Canadian Rockies right now. And I could answer that question a lot better, but it looks like there's not going to be any travel between Canada and the U.S. for RVing probably through the rest of the year is what we're hearing now. So we love Banff. We love Jasper, Lake Louise. In Ontario, we've camped in several Ontario provincial parks up by Tobermory. I forget the Bruce Peninsula in Ontario. Oh my gosh, just spectacular.
Yeah, a lot of beautiful camping in
Canada. We love
Canada.
camping in Canada, but we can't go there. So right now. So,
yeah, I was kind of confused because today we heard on our radio that traffic was heavy. Was it going in or coming back from
coming
Canada?
out? Yeah, we live in the Detroit area, so Detroit radio said traffic across the Canadian, the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit. What are they doing? But I think it's truck traffic. Must be. I think that's probably the thing. All right, running through here because time is ticking away for your questions. We haven't gotten bit by the bugs too bad.
Just when we first sat down.
Yeah, they were. I think they all came.
I'm pretty grateful they're not finding us, but there's a little breeze right now. That's helping too.
Let's see. How do you like the macerator toilet? We had a version of that earlier. We do. Everyone we've had, we've insisted on having the macerator. We think it really does a nice job.
And then where do you store your RV? I see that question from Barry, 2 up from where you are. He doesn't have a question, but where do you store your RV?
Where do you store your RV? In our driveway.
In our driveway.
Barry. We keep
and
it
I
right
would
in
not
driveway.
own a house that our RV couldn't be in the driveway.
Yep.
I would move.
You would. You would.
I would.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to store it because we use this thing as a second vehicle oftentimes.
And I want it close by when I want to load it up, take off.
Charlotte, we're camping in Colorado, ran into another couple that love you guys. It was a conversational starting point, and it's so nice. They're actually in their camper watching you. Hello, wherever you guys. Thank you, Charlotte. Oh, we love hearing you. I wonder where you guys are.
I tell you, people got a lot of cute dogs out there.
Yeah, people do have cute. Well, that is great, Charlotte. Thank you. We love hearing stories like that. We really do. And what we were just talking about it because the last time I think we camped here, we had a gathering of about 40 or 50 of our friends, people from fellow travelers from the Facebook group and from our different communities, And we really miss that. We would really like to get together with a lot of people
Yeah,
again.
we miss saying, how about if we meet you at a certain place?
Yeah.
So
I
we miss
almost did that today. I said, how about we're going to be out at Addison Oaks Park, and if you're in, in this part of Michigan, come say hi. And then I
No, you
realized,
really shouldn't
with
the
COVID,
distancing and COVID. Not
and
yet.
people get
Not
mad
yet.
enough at me for the things I say, so we didn't
Not
do
yet.
that. But
And it's really hot.
how much fresh water do you use daily when boondocking? I don't know. Not a lot.
Depends
We
on,
shower with it.
Depends on
We shower every day, pretty much, even when we're
how much
boondocking.
food prep you've done ahead of time.
Let's put it this way. We have, I think, 28 gallons of fresh water. Or no, we have 30 gallons of fresh water.
And again, with COVID, how often are you washing your hands? Are you doing the whole?
Yeah. Well, 30 gallons of fresh water will last us with showers. We don't take really, really long, but I do shave in the shower, and we have that instant hot water, so you don't waste a lot of water. We can get a week's boondocking out of a full tank. I do have some things I'll show you in a review coming up. They collapse down to nothing, but they'll let you carry up to 5 extra gallons of water. I have a couple of those, and that's really a cool little feature. And I'll be doing a video on that.
And then you can show them how ours has that hose. Does everybody have that hose? You can siphon water.
Hose. I showed that in one of our videos. You can, if you break, if you really run out of water, you can suck it out of a bottle and put it in there if you want. So, so we get quite a bit, really. Do you use the interior table in the back between the beds? Only when we're doing. Ask us anything. Have we used it? We've done the last couple of them, setting that table up between the two beds. I don't know if we'll use it back there or not. It's not bad for for doing.
I don't think we would, because we don't have a backrest.
Yeah, doing up front between, we use that as a kitchen table and we use that as an office table, and that's really nice. I really like that. Hey, you got a notice of another super chat. Let's go down and grab this. This is from Steve. Steve is a very generous guy, $20. He said, I just did 6,400 miles in a 19.5-inch road trek. Biggest pro is parking. It is. Next is the Stealth. I got 19.5 miles per gallon.
Awesome.
That's great, Steve. You must be in the Agile, SS Agile from Road Trek. That is a really popular unit, and everybody really, really likes that. So good for you, man. Thank you for the super chat. That means a great deal for us. So I think we got this night camping paid for. So, so that's pretty good. All right, let's go back to some more of your questions. What hand tools do you carry in the Wonder? A flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a little utility screwdriver that's got those little weird, I don't know what kind they are, but this weird little, weird little slots on them. A pair of pliers, pair of long nose pliers, pair of wire cutters, a rubber mallet, that I don't have that in here. I didn't put that in. I just realized that isn't in there yet. And that's about it. I don't carry a lot of other tools because I don't know how to use them. I mean, almost. I just am not.
Don't ask how many cameras and lenses and microphones.
No, you want to talk cameras, lenses, microphones. I can go into a lot of detail, but minimal tools. How's that? Richard, what do you think of the Road Coachman Crosstrek 20XG? It has a huge garage on the Ford Transit. You mean the CrossFit? That what used to be the name of it. I don't know the Crosstrek. There was the CrossFit, which was a Class B, but they got sued by the people who started CrossFit, and now they call it the Coachman Beyond. And that was on the Transit, and we liked it a lot. I don't know if it had a huge garage like this.
So this is something new, the garage.
I don't know that brand.
We don't know this.
I know the CrossFit, and if that's what you mean, Richard, it's a nice unit.
I think it sounds like they've copied the garage.
Could be.
Because everybody copies everything.
Yeah. Let's see. You still order your radio coax pre-wired? No, not anymore. I do my own. It's not that hard. That's a question everybody's saying. Why would he want to do that? Well, yes, if I'm putting a two-way radio system in, then we'll tell you more about that. Do you have to snap your TVs while traveling? We have a 2020 Sportsman Classic, but it doesn't have straps. No, not these. These are kind of permanently mounted. I don't think these, like in the Unity, they pulled out and would tilt. I don't think these do that. We watch so little TV. I turned it on the other day just to see if it worked, and it did. But that's about as much as we'll probably do. We really don't watch TV at all when we're out camping. What bike rack are you using? None. No bike rack on this. I answered that a little earlier on, Noel. But no bike rack. We're considering putting a couple of bikes in through the back in the garage area there.
And how much? I wonder, what do the collapsible bikes weigh?
They weigh about the same, about 65 pounds. In a Class B, is there a way to tell if you're getting the new Ford Transit? Well, yeah, just ask if it's the Ford Transit chassis. It'll have a little Ford emblem on the front, and then you know right there. Make sure to put a comment or question. Thanks, Chris, for reminding everybody of that. How many days in a row can you boondock? Depends on
how hot it is.
How hot, how cold, how much food we've brought, but we can go easily a week.
I was going to say easy 5.
Easy 5, yeah. Seldom do we
7,
go more than that. I mean, it's not that we might go boondocking for like a couple of weeks, but we'll move after 5 days because we'll go to another spot. Now, some people go and they sit in one spot for 14 days. We're, I guess, a little bit too ADD for that because we tend to say, well, if we go 50 miles this way, we can explore this canyon or we can do that. So we will move on and travel about. And if we're moving from one spot we've been at several days, we'll find a place to dump our black water and to top off with fresh water before and often, stock up for even more food. So you can boondock indefinitely, but that's the way we do it. Now, if you want to stay someplace in one spot for a long time, 4 or 5 days, if you are a pretty good manager of all the stuff that you have with you. $10 super chat from Larry Valdez. Just a thank you. Thank you, Larry. We appreciate that. That is really kind, and we're delighted to hear that. Let's see. I got to go back and pull a couple of others. Let's see. If anybody has traveled cross-country through many states, do you have to quarantine in many states? We want to go from New Jersey to Arizona. No way could we quarantine. Well, it's not quite so bad going west. If you're going east, almost all of the eastern, New York, New Jersey, I believe Pennsylvania, I believe Ohio, check. There's a whole bunch of states that have a list of about 31 states where they expect you to quarantine in place for 14 days.
Ugh.
So
that's going to ruin our going to Ohio. Hopefully
no, Michigan's not one of the states because Michigan is not too bad here.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we plan a trip to Ohio in a little while too. Check that. It changes every day. We try and do on our mailing list, which comes out every Monday morning. There'll be one tomorrow. We try and do an update of what's open, what's not, what the restrictions are. So if you have not yet subscribed to our mailing list, do so. You can find a link right on rvlifestyle.com, our travel blog. Go there, and we send that out every Monday. But yes, a number of the states do expect you, if you're from one of those 31 states that are showing high rates of the virus, you'll have to quarantine. On your new RV, do you have to have push button start? Nope. If not, why do you think they didn't offer that? To save money. Remember, this chassis cost, what is it, $30,000 less than the Sprinter?
I believe it's $25,000 for a Mercedes.
So it's $25,000 less than a Mercedes. So you're not going to have some of those bells and whistles, and the push button start is one of them. You use a key.
There's a question about, did you see that one? Can you take your dog into Canada?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if you can.
Now.
You can't. Nobody's supposed to go into Canada right now from the U.S. unless it's an essential reason. RVing is not. But yeah, when you do travel, we have his papers with him.
Yes, I carry his papers in our RV, in our car, and then his overnight bag.
Yeah,
he's got.
Bo has an overnight bag.
Yeah, for when he gets dropped off with a rover sitter, doggy daycare, our kid's house. Yeah. With his papers in, and his shot records. I mean, so that everybody knows he's had his rabies shots. Everything's current.
We've been into Canada dozens and dozens of times and never have had a problem with the dog.
They're always very nice.
They've never asked for papers, but we always have them, and that's always just good advice to to have if you can. Hey, Phyllis reminds us that Bo has his own Instagram account. If you guys like Instagram, you can follow Bo at Bo the RV the RV Elcown. Bo the RV Elcown.
I'm feeling sorry for Bo. He's got locked inside.
You want to
because
bring him
he was
out?
misbehaving.
Well, you can't because you got your microphone on.
And we're just about done.
When you empty your black tank with the macerator, you need to flush it with the gray tank. Always do that.
Yes.
Always empty the black tank first, and then the gray tank, which kind of gets all of anything left in that thing, gets it all out of there.
Yep.
Have you tried the Thermacell portable mosquito repeller? Absolutely no.
No, we haven't, but that sounds like a good thing to try.
We did a video.
Write that down.
We did a video once.
We're in the Porcupine Mountains.
Up in the Porcupine Mountains, where Michigan, up in the UP, have these black flies, these biting black flies. And we went the wrong time when they were all out, and we bought every kind of fly repellent. We did a video what worked and what didn't. Bottom line is nothing worked.
And it was really pathetic because our last dog, Ty, got stung by a bee. So every insect he was afraid of. In fact, he even jumped out the window once because a housefly was in the car. We had our granddaughters and the windows were down, and he jumped out because of the fly. He was so terrified of every insect.
He was.
Poor guy.
He was. This Bo, he just wants to bark at people.
Yeah, he's a barker.
Jennifer, do you miss the blind side install? Blind side
Yes.
in cameras?
Yes, I love it.
Or does the camera you installed suffice?
I like the blind spot. I mean, I like being told. I like that. But I don't expect us to get one because, I mean, can't put 1,000 here.
We need a lot more
here,
super chats
2,000.
if we're going to get your blind spot detectors. Yeah. But for me, it's I don't think it's worth it. But Jennifer does, and I like to have Jennifer drive because it really does help when both of us drive.
And people are not, they get so blast the horn. They're so angry. Got a lot of angry people out there driving.
Me too. People are angry about everything today. It's so crazy.
There's no grace.
No, that's exactly the phrase.
Somebody does something wrong. I don't blast the horn as hard as I can and get right on their bumper and, I was done a great injustice because we all do stupid things. I mean, unless it's something really stupid where you could get killed, a little toot like, hey guys,
But if you want the blind spot, we'll get them. Debbie, is the table heavy? Was wondering if having to put it in storage and bring it out all the time.
How heavy is it?
I don't know. It's not heavy. It's easy. It's just you put the. It depends on where you put it. There's a post in the front. You just
because I'm puny now because my exercising is done. We did the lockdown in Florida.
Still, they're not open down here.
Yeah, and gyms aren't open here. So, and I have not exercised now forever. So I've just turned into a marshmallow.
Yeah, right.
Puny.
She look.
Puny.
I look like a marshmallow, but not
puny.
not
no
my
muscles.
Yeah, look at those muscles.
No,
those are great muscles.
No, slab.
But it's not that heavy, and I mean, maybe when I'm 95, I might want to go with something else, but it's not high. And Jennifer could bench press it twice as high as I could right now.
Not anymore.
So, oh well, but it's not that heavy, Debbie. You wouldn't have any problem. Oh, look at that! During these crazy times, you two are a comfort. Just makes me feel normal to see and hear you two. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I think it makes us feel really good to do these too, just to hang out with you guys. We can kind of see your little icons and we see your reactions and then we get great, awesome super chats like another $10 from TLO Barden. I enjoy your channel. Thanks for sharing. Thumbs up. Thank you so much for $10. I think we could do 2 nights here now. Right? I really do. I think we could spend 2 nights.
Geez, whatever it is, it gets 30%. They might
yeah,
be able to
Google
come
gets 30% of all that. So maybe we need to get a few more of those super chats. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for all those kind words, everyone. That really means a lot. How big is your gray water tank? I believe it's 28 gallons. 28 gallons. Do you still have a camera on Bo in the RV? No, I do have a temperature sensor in there, but I don't have a camera on Bo because he's kind of boring. He just sort of sleeps. But I had one early on, and it was always using up all my data. And so I didn't, that's just too intense. So I do have a temperature monitor that uses a cell network, and that tells me the temperature inside if we're going to walk away and leave them in there for a while, so I can be sure. I'm looking for some other questions. again, if you put question, we're almost out of time here, and I want to get as many as we can. Let's take a quick look. Well, I'm going all doing lots of your comments. Somebody's saying, don't forget to add. Oh, I'm supposed to ask for love. Give us those thumbs up. I don't know if YouTube really does pay attention to that or not. We do. It's always exciting to us to watch all those thumbs up. There's a little place you can give a thumbs up. There goes one. We just saw that. So thank you for those. Those are all great. All right. Let's kind of go through. Here's a comment. 2020 Transit has a different front grille design than the side flare of grille, more towards the upper top half. Older Transit. Oh, maybe they were wondering how they knew whether it's a 2020 Transit chassis. I bet that's what he was asking. Thank you, Bev. Look on the sales slip, you know, on the dealer sticker. It'll tell you what chassis it is, whether it's a 2020 or a 2019. We know you have e-bikes. How do you get around for distant sightseeing? Do you break camp? Yep, and take them out home. We do. We do not have a towed, never will. Couldn't tow one with that anyway if we wanted to. We could have technically in the Unity that we had, the older one, and maybe we'll go back to one of those someday.
Class B, the road tracks.
We could have with the Class B, with the diesel Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. But this one will not tow a towed. A towed, if you're new to this, T-O-A-D, think of a towed vehicle, T-O-W-E-D. It's pronounced the same as the frigate towed that hops around, so they call them toads. And that's good. How are the mosquitoes where you are? They're going to be bad.
When we first sat down, and there's a little breeze now, and I can't believe they haven't attacked us.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
And I can see them in there in the woods.
Yeah.
I can see them buzzing around in there.
That's reason not to have Bo out here, because he'd be back there stirring them up.
Yeah.
He does that.
Somebody says, I was on a Zoom conference and the RV outfitter indicated that Ford doesn't allow the outfitter to change the seats, tire, or add sumo springs. Would probably have to do after. I don't know if you do it. You wouldn't do it at manufacturing. You could put sumo springs in. Honest, you don't need them. You don't need them. You can put whatever tires you want on them. I'm sure the manufacturer has to do what Ford says. And the seats are changed. Our seats are all those ultra leather seats that Leisure Travel Van is so famous for.
And they are much more comfortable.
Yeah. Peggy says, do you ever feel unsafe boondocking?
Then you move.
Yeah, but we don't. Maybe once or twice over the years.
Yeah.
You know, but never have had a problem at all. Never had a problem. How long have you been on the road? Do you see yourself living for many years to come? As long as God gives us health and, you know, we can continue to travel.
And we can afford the gas.
And we can afford the gas. This thing gets 12.5 miles per gallon. We got about 14.5 on our Unity, on the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. I'm hoping this gets better. It's only got 450 miles.
If you don't let me drive, because I'm not like you.
Are you guys on TikTok? You should. Never. I'm not on TikTok because I don't dance. I do dance. Actually, I do. We'll have to tell them all how disco dancing saved our marriage one time.
Right.
No, we're not on TikTok. I think I got an account, but I don't. You know, I'm having enough trouble with all the other social media. But you know what? Maybe I should try it. I'm going to ask my granddaughter to come and set us up with TikTok. So stay tuned. We may try that. We're a little old for TikTok, but why not? Would you suggest holding off buying an RV as shows are no longer and being a seller's market? Wait a year for a better deal? Or doesn't LV have an inflated? Their rights are the same.
Maybe a year from now, all these people that have bought RVs, maybe a year from now,
it
won't be what they thought it was going to be, and maybe there'll be a lot of used ones out there.
There will be, I predict, a ton of used ones on the market next year from all these people who've been buying them. There is not, contrary to what everybody seems to think, there is not a lot of price dickering on higher-end RVs like this. You know, you don't get 20% or 15% or 10% even off. That's very rare that you'd even get anywhere approaching 10.
I think that you usually get what you pay for. You get the cheaper models, they cut back on a lot of things that they shouldn't cut back on. What are we reading here?
I'm reading, somebody sent me a text. I said I was going to sell my rad power bikes, and somebody texted me
I bet
and
you
wants
that's
to buy
our
them.
friend in Florida
It
who
is.
said their
It's,
son-in-law wanted the bike.
Yeah, it is. But hold off. I'm not sure yet. I see. I got to watch it.
I remember you said you wanted first dibs because you know Mike.
Yeah, that's right. I did.
It's a revolving door in our house.
Yeah, yeah. I think we are. I got to work out a couple of things on it. Like I got to figure out how to afford the 2 new ones, but we probably will.
And I like what I have. I can't keep what I have. You can have this collapsible one.
Well, then you can't take it with you.
Well, can't we get it in there somehow?
I can get your step-through model on the collapsible one. They have a step-through, just like you love the step-through. Yeah. You don't have to throw your leg over there.
I'm nervous about the step-through model.
It's got a fat. It's got a fat.
I'm really nervous about getting it together.
Can you tell?
We had those.
She
Friday
is the cautious
bikes,
one.
And we could never. Once we collapsed them, we couldn't get them back.
I'm not even going there. Jeffrey, what's your favorite meal to cook?
I was thinking about this. Thinking about when the kids were little and we would go every weekend. Your sister and her husband had some property up on the Rifle River.
Still where that's our favorite
then
boondocking
we might go there
spot.
Boondocking.
We're going there in a couple weeks.
Once we took 45 people with us camping so that our children would be happy. But we would get...
We did, 45.
There were so many trees. There was always, you could make a big campfire. And you'd make this great big old campfire, you get those hot coals, and you would take aluminum foil and get that hamburger. And you could either onion soup or whatever seasoning you wanted to use. You get a can of potatoes and some corn and wrap it up. And then everybody had to labor, risking their lives. Smoke all over them. Too hot. Turning those things over.
They were great.
Those were the best things in the world.
Ketchup on them.
Because you were so hungry and you had to wait forever for the fire. And you, like I say, you risk your life cooking them.
What do you call those things?
I don't know what you call them.
But anyway, can you see that? Oh, yeah.
Don't let bugs spin on you. But anyway, I was thinking that was so much fun. I wonder if our kids look back or if they look at. I know our one boy hated it. Every moment that he was there, it was torture.
Our older son did. Yeah.
And the other two are campers.
That is fun. We should.
But that was so good.
That's fun. That's what you do in a group.
Yeah.
What other favorite meals do you have?
Favorite meals. Oh, whatever I don't have to cook. Put the grill outside and put you to work.
Yeah, lately we've been eating chicken burgers. Yeah. Grilling chicken and putting it on a bun.
That's
I know I kind of get the carbs in the bun.
Gourmet hamburger buns.
They're like butter buns. They're really good.
Yeah.
And in fact we had that tonight.
$1 a bun.
Yeah, but they're really good.
And I haven't checked how many
calories. A little
calories
mayonnaise and you grill them. Grill the chicken.
I now like hamburger buns.
And
those cheap ones.
I love cooking steak. I think steak is just. I like steak, and I like the way you take potatoes, you cut them up, you wrap them in tin foil, and we put them on the grill.
Usually avocado oil I cook with, and just flip them over, sliced potatoes and onions, a little bit of seasoning. I would like, in fact, I should ask people to give me good recipes for cooking fish. We had one recipe for salmon that somebody gave me, and it was so rich. I made it several times, and then it was just like, okay, this is too rich. I like very simple food. The more simple, basic food.
Maureen wants you to do a cooking segment.
Oh, I did my vegetable lasagna.
Yeah, and
I sent you to the store to pick up mozzarella. You came back with the world's most expensive mozzarella.
Well, wow,
and I cooked the mozzarella. I brought it out of the oven, and I said, Mike, this is, we get low fat, this boring ball of mozzarella. Come back with this gourmet stuff, and I bring it out of the oven. You take this picture of it. There was an oil slick on the top of it. It was just like half an inch of oil on the top.
Was it good?
And I couldn't get past the oil slick.
Anyway, that recipe and that video is on the channel here.
You weren't allowed to buy stuff.
Well,
except when I was sick, you had to buy stuff.
We did a video of us cooking hamburgers a couple months ago down on Gamble Rogers Park.
When I was grilling a bunch of peppers and
onions. Keto, that's on there. We have regulars, but maybe we'll do some more.
What do you mean we?
I'll shoot it and you do it. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Gosh, guys, I could keep on going here, but so I am going to.
Yeah, we're past time.
Yeah, we are way past time. So.
Getting time and a half now.
Yeah, so I'm going to get out of here. I'm going really quick through. And there's an old friend I see is on there, Tom Hopkins, Tom and Loxie in Davenport. Love you guys. Sorry we aren't out that way this year. Hope we can. Any good harvest hosts in Michigan? We're in Nashville, Michigan, home of Mooville. We love Nashville, Michigan. You know, we have not done a harvest host in Michigan. I know there's a couple, I think. I've
We
not
did a
done
golf
any.
course
Oh,
once.
we did a golf course, and there's an apple
We were going
farm.
to do an orchard.
Yeah, up by Holly. There's
Yeah,
an
we were going
apple
to do an
orchard.
orchard, and it wasn't in season for fruit.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Mosquitoes found us. Found
all
me.
right. Nancy has some salmon steak and wondering if you have a recipe. Well, send it along, Nancy. We'd love to see it. It's all good. Which video is the cooking in? I don't know. You'd have to go look under cooking, you know.
It's worth it just for the oil slick.
Yeah, for the oil slick.
Yeah.
That was your vegetarian
vegetable.
vegetable.
No, not vegetable.
Vegetable, not vegetarian. Vegetable lasagna.
Because it has cheese.
Yep.
It's very good.
Yep.
Very, very good.
That's good. All right, guys. Hey, we've gone over our time, and the bugs are now starting to come.
The bugs have found us.
And before it's dark, we want to take Bo for a walk, and want to just tell you guys how much we appreciate getting together like this. We'll be back next Sunday night, same time. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Phyllis for helping moderate and keeping everything going. Thank you for all of you giving us a part of your Sunday night.
Okay,
and
I
for
look
the
like
encouragement.
A crazy person swatting
Thanks
bugs.
to everybody for all those super chats. That's really above and beyond, and we really do appreciate it. What else? Newsletter tomorrow. Check the newsletter out. If you haven't subscribed, go to rvlifestyle.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. It comes out every Monday, and you get lots of little perks and discounts.
Now I feel like I'm down south again. The
We got
gnats.
a podcast this Wednesday. If you haven't heard the RV podcast, that's Wednesday. And lots of posts, new posts. The big one on the blog tomorrow, RV Lifestyle, we're going to talk about what is a Class C RV for the newbies out there who want to know. Whew, this is a long time.
Mosquito found me.
Okay, mosquito found her?
Yep.
All right, we're out of here. Bye, everybody.
See you next week.